Hey, this is Iron Wolf Isaac, and today I'm gonna be reviewing Halo 4. So, I first heard about this game before it came out, and heard some stuff about it in Game Informer magazine. And I was curious on how this game was gonna be. So I ended up getting it, and so for my opinion on it, not a fan of the art style, first of all, for the villains, for the Covenant, at least. They made them look more gross and monstrous instead of goofy. Like they were in the Bungie Halo games. And I was interested to see what the Forerunners were like, but they're kind of just like generic Tron, like robots for the for the Prometheans that the Didact has, and he's a foreigner that survived. Not sure where else they could have gone with the series, so it's understandable that they went with the Forerunners, with the Didact and the Prometheans. But they were pretty generic, and how you take down the Didact is pretty lame. It sucks that they took away like the main villain right away in this game. And couldn't have had him show up in other games in the series. And this game brings back the armor abilities, which I'm still not a fan of. Thought the power-ups in Halo 3 worked better with the series than the armor abilities. And most of the missions are not that interesting. And I'll say that I did like the level with the mammoth, and I think the first level is sadly probably the best level in the game. For the soundtrack, it's a moody, atmospheric soundtrack. It's decent, but it doesn't compare to any of the Bungie soundtracks. Um, and the the rest of the story with Captain Del Rio. With Del Rio, I'm fine with him being a douche, but I don't think they really did a good job with showing why he's a douche. Cortana, degrading. Is fine. Um, and I think it's fine that she uh, died at the end of Halo 4. Um, so overall, I think that this game is decent. It's um that's it. Could have been worse, which it definitely became worse with the next game in the series. And I think this game still that's this game, because of their storytelling, isn't really necessary to play. Um, Also, thought the weapons were uh, decent in this game. I actually enjoyed the weapons more than I did in Reach, but still think Reach is a better game than this. Um, and I'd say this game was at least better than Halo 5 and Destiny 1, at least, for games that, well, I played Destiny 1 to try it out, but just from watching the review, could see that Halo 5 was terrible. So this is a better game than Halo 5 and Destiny 1, at least. So it could have been worse. And um so that's what um think the matchmaking levels were more interesting than Reaches, in my opinion. So say that's one thing that's better in Halo 4. I don't think the matchmaking levels were really all that good in Reach, to be honest. That's most of the time when I played online, it would be some kind of Forge World thing, and it it barely played the other levels or maps. So I don't really have that many memories with Halo Reach maps. Um, it does suck that you're back to not being able to play as elites. To know that the main story, the elites are back to evil, which that's one part of the story that sucks. So I don't know why they couldn't have just used the brutes returned, and instead they have the elites are back to being evil for some reason. And and they didn't even show a good reason for why they're evil. It just sucks. So overall, this is a decent game. Uh, you don't really need to play this. This wasn't really necessary in the story of the series. But if you want more after beating all the Bungie games, this will give you a little bit. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this review. And I hope you have a good day. And I hope you have a blessed day. Signing out.